Like, don't.
I'm like, you can never, you're the only podcaster I know that can't put the songs or the music of anything we talk about into the podcast. It's 5 years and you can't figure that out. It's either extremely hard or you're not interested.
I'm going to because I know how to do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But also,
everyone knows how to do it, Shai.
But Leah knows that podcast editing, you had a great post the other day, that podcast editing is a separate hobby. Like it's not, and I would say it's the least fun part of podcasting, maybe.
But there are people for whom it's not the least fun part.
Yeah. But I can do the music today, Lily. I can do the intro music today.
No one wants to hear that. Like, I want to hear when we talk about something and then we can hear it.
Whoa, that's a very high production value you're asking for. And what about music license?
You
right?
do.
Everybody's putting clips of everything and everything.
You have the patience, Lily, for me to start putzing around with. Hold on, let me play that sound clip. When we do a live episode, I'm willing to do it because that's like part of what makes a live episode.
We have to come prepared with clips. You're not going to be like looking for clips on the fly. You're going to be like,
I have to have them loaded into the show beforehand. Like it's not just like, oh, Lily mentioned something and now I got to go like find it. I mean, I don't know. Leah's here. This is so great. All right.
This is so cool. She's with you in person.
Volume down on my cans.
Yeah.
It seems like you all have great earphones and I have terrible.
Do you want to switch because you have terrible ears and I technically have super hearing. I've been tested.
Really?
Yeah, I have I have something called super hearing.
You both look so cool right now.
I have like superhero level hearing. I hear too much.
So cool right now.
It's a real thing.
You hear too much?
Yeah, I hear extra. I have like like people with better than 20/20 vision. I have better than whatever that hearing is.
So she can hear us talking about her.
Becky,
that's what she's saying.
Becky's medical. Becky's.
I had my ears tested. It's a thing.
By like an osteopath. Like took like a.
I know that the only time I had my ears tested was after Shai forced me to go to Fishbone in Montreal.
Well, no,
and I was
right
genuinely, I was genuinely concerned, and I went to get a hearing test.
Oh my God.
Still,
I was so worried.
One of the greatest bands of all time. I'm, all right. Okay. I don't know.
Leah, what does it say on your shirt?
This is my hamburger chat room sweatshirt.
What does that mean?
What is that? What do those words mean?
Those are real words. I don't know what they're
real words.
Part of it is that Leah is like beyond advanced when it comes to understanding the podcast and Discord and like internet cool world.
So here's the thing. I'm going to describe it and you might be like, cool was a strong word. So I'm a big fan of the Doughboys. I think that's well established. I have traveled to see them, which is a fast food podcast. I also pay like $10 a month to be a part of their Platinum Plate Club, which means I get ad-free episodes and also access to the Discord, which I'm very active
Which is
in.
like the modern version of a chat room, guys. Lily and Becky, so you understand.
No.
You've never seen one.
No, but now that you remind me what the definition is, I understand. Okay. I know. I've heard of it.
So one of the guys in the Discord has made these t-shirts because it's our hamburger chat room. The Discord for the Doughboys is a hamburger chat room. So this is like only means something to like 500 people.
But if you run into someone who has that shirt, that's like when I run into a fellow fan of the Tony Kornheiser show.
So
I'm a little.
Yeah. So I did post in the Discord this morning. I'm seeing Weird Al tonight in DC. I'm wearing my hamburger chat room sweatshirt. So if you see me, say hello.
Aww.
Oh, that's cute. So we're going to be celebrities at this show tonight.
I think there's some overlap.
Yes. Well, just from the liking food songs.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay.
We start?
I'm going to get us started. I'm going to do the theme music for Lily. We can talk through it if you want, because this is like a live in-person episode. So, boom, theme music. Not often
people dancing. But are people hearing us talk?
People are hearing you talk right now, but that when we're sometimes. Sometimes you're just going to get us talking over the theme music.
I appreciate that, actually, as a listener.
You know what? It was a little underwhelming.
All right, here we are if you could see me, I can't contain the smile on my face because with us we have, Becky's in person in my kitchen, Lily's on the computer screen, and also in my kitchen is the great Leah Jones, one of the great podcasters of our time, a great friend. She is the host of Finding Favorites with Leah Jones. She is the co-host of Candy Chat Chicago, two podcasts which I have like so much deep affection for.
As do we all.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity of being on a couple times, so I'm very excited. And we've got Leah here. Leah, what brings you to our fair city and my kitchen today?
Many months ago on Finding Favorites, I interviewed a playwright out of Kansas City about Weird Al. And Weird Al is currently on a self-indulgent tour. And then you listened to that episode and looked it up and saw that there were tickets available for the DC show and said, hey, do you want to come to DC and go see Weird Al with me and my family? And I said, yes. And then a couple of weeks ago, you're like, you're coming soon, right? And I was like, yeah. I remembered we had plans, and nowhere in my memory was that it was a Wednesday night concert. I thought for sure I had made plans for a weekend. But I am.
You hadn't bought your ticket.
No, I hadn't.
It's Chicago to DC. There's a lot of plane tickets. This isn't Tenerife where you got to buy months in advance.
No. So I am here to see the master himself, Weird Al, with the Cormans.
Have you seen him before?
This will be my third time.
But you've never seen him with Shy.
I've never seen him with Shy, no.
I'm not like extra weird. I just like enjoy it. I just am so happy. I'm not like I'm not wearing a Hawaiian shirt or anything. But I what was really funny was the conversation I had with Allie this morning, my wife, which was, she said, so like how many times I said, did you ever think when you imagined your life, having a family, that going to see Weird Al multiple times would be one of the things that happened in your life? She's like, no, how many times have we seen him together? What, like 3 or 4? And I was like, no. Tonight is number 6, Allie.
Wow.
And I listed all the times I've gone with Allie to see him with her.
That's with Allie, but then you've gone
12 years
before you met Allie.
Hey, so the next time you go, could you invite me?
That's so mean.
Just a small troll.
I did text Becky and I was like, are you going with us? Am I going to see you this week?
I can 100% get you a ticket.
No, I mean, can you also get me a babysitter?
I mean,
probably.
It's like
okay. I'll catch him next time.
Allie might be willing to give up her ticket. You never know.
She wants to switch and babysit and put 2 snotty kids with disgusting coughs to bed. By all means, let's do it.
Right. It's not like a night off, right? It's not like she gets to drink wine in our living room.
She can drink wine while she babysits them.
So this is the Weird Al tour, by the way, as Leah said, the self-indulgent vanity tour. When
she said it, I was like, that's a bit rude.
No.
Then I figured it might have been the name of the tour.
It's called the Self-Indulgent Vanity Tour because the band is. This is at the Kennedy Center, by the way. This is fancy.
This is
a big deal.
This is when the band, there's no costumes, there's no light show. It is just the band. They're not unplugged because they will play electric songs, but they're all going to be sitting. They actually pre-announced, they're like, we are very old. We're going to be sitting. And they just play songs, and the majority of the songs, like 80-90% of the songs, are original Weird Al songs that are funny, right? Because he has, if you are a fan and you like all the deep cuts,
yes,
then this is where you're going to hear
Dare to Be Stupid.
Dare to Be Stupid is one of the few crossovers that is both an original and a mega hit, as is One More Minute. I feel like those two are guaranteed no matter when you see Weird Al.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I don't look at the set list for something like this. But this is where you're going to get your Frank's 2000-inch TV, maybe your Santa, The Night Santa Went Crazy, Nature Trail to Hell. Becky doesn't know. Becky's like, I don't know.
Is the Jurassic Park song an original?
Jurassic Park is a cover. It's a parody of MacArthur Park. That one I got to see when we went to the Symphony tour, when he toured with the Symphony Orchestra. One of the 6 times Allie has seen Weird Al.
When I told my coworkers that I was I was like, oh, I'm going to DC to see a show at the Kennedy Center. They're like, ooh,
fancy.
Like, Weird Al. And they're like, yeah, of course that's who you're seeing at the Kennedy Center. But then people were like, is it Kennedy Center honors? And has he received his Kennedy Center honors yet? Because I don't think that's so far-fetched.
I don't think that's far-fetched at all. I was actually driving kind of enraged that I'm like, because Jan Warner, the Rolling Stone guy who's in charge of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, has been doing a lot of media talking about his opinion on people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was thinking how Weird Al, I've never even heard his name come into consideration, when I'm pretty sure he meets every single criteria and beyond, right? Like he's outsold many of the artists that he has parodied.
When does Smooth come out?
November 1st.
Oh, it's not out yet?
No. It's touring on festivals.
Yeah.
And then it will be out on Roku on, I think, I want to say maybe November 1st or November 11th. I forget which days.
That's exciting.
But there's a live premiere on November 1st, but it's at Alamo Drafthouse, and it is not going to be at the one that's here. Otherwise, I would have gotten tickets. I was trying to get tickets for that. That would have been cool to see a live premiere.
Yeah, because I saw on Twitter this morning that they're showing it at in most of the cities with Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, except this one. And I'm not travel to go see a movie in a movie theater guy. I think a younger version of me would be like, great, which city?
Mm-hmm.
Not now. I'll watch it in my living room on Roku. So Weird Al, met him first. Have I ever told you the story the first time? I feel like this is my Finding Favorites episode about Weird Al.
Thank you for inviting us.
I'll just say that I met him when I was 10 years old, because of the great Fanny Corman. Mm-hmm. Weird Al was hosting a show at the Just for Laughs festival, also known as Juste pour rire.
Is it also known as that?
Sure. There's laws in Quebec about what language things have to be. And it was at the Théâtre Saint-Denis, the great Théâtre Saint-Denis. And he hosted, and so he would do 2 songs in between each of the comedians. He did Addicted to Spuds. He did The Good Old Days. I don't remember actually any of the other songs, but I remember those 2. And Tommy Davidson, the comedian, was on that. He's stand-up. He's been around for a long time. I think he was in... movie he was in. I gotta check.
It was just
been a bunch of movies
about my amnesia. So keep going.
Tommy Davidson, very funny man. At the end of the show, as you could do in Montreal growing up. I mean, remember Montreal growing up? You could meet every person who played a show. Like there's no security. They had to walk to their bus on the street like everybody else. And especially at Saint Denis. I remember when we met Dave Matthews in 1996, my friends and I just walked into the backstage. But when I was 10, we were not. I'm a rule follower, and Mom is not. And Mom just acted like she was supposed to be behind the velvet rope and just walked backstage at Théâtre Saint-Denis. And I was so anxious that I froze. Security stopped me, and Mom disappeared with no witness. And then Mom comes running back a few minutes later. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you.
He's waiting for you.
Yeah. Because she made him wait at his tour bus, like the episode of the Goldbergs.
It's like the Goldbergs.
And there he was in the Hawaiian shirt. And this was, perm and mustache, Weird Al with the glasses. And he stood there and he shook my hand and he said, keep in touch, in that way Weird Al says, keep in touch. And I wrote him a letter and I got an autographed, like a standard autograph picture back. And so that was amazing. That's where, he was already my hero then.
Yeah.
But in DC, you can't get near people like that. There's no Kennedy Center wait in the parking lot for Weird Al situation. Now Leah also hosts, so that was my Finding Favorites moment. Leah, here's my pitch for one. We just talk about deep cuts, right? Only his original songs.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, but we're not going to do that on our podcast now. What we're going to do is we're going to shift gears to Candy Chat mode, because Leah hosts Candy Chat Chicago, which
What is happening?
Leah, I'm leaving. That's not fair. I'm sad.
What do we have?
What are those?
I will send you some good and bad Chicago candies.
It's okay. Leave it. I'm going to be at Becky and Shy's hopefully soon. So leave it there.
Lily's getting punished, right? You're sending her bad candy.
Bad candy, because I sent you bad candy.
Right?
Oh, we had this most recent we recorded this week. We just tried the most recent batch and we were like, oh, they finally just sent us trash and we loved it. Everything you sent this time, we were like, we haven't gotten to the Toblerone because we know like that'll be Toblerone.
Oh, this was from when we visited you in the summer in Spain.
Yeah.
When we bought like the random chocolate bars at the tuna store.
We were like, they finally just went to a corner store and bought us like
local.
Just
the Filipino is one of them. It's called the Filipino.
So good,
right?
It's like only a shortbread cookie donut, like dipped in chocolate. Delicious.
Only in Spain, by the way, are the candies just named after nationalities, right? Like I'm sure
everything has to be like a little bit racist. Everything's just a teensy bit racist.
It did feel a little, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's happening here?
So these are Fannie Mae, which is not a student loan company.
I was going to say, is Freddie Mac like the other flavor, like the Mae West and the Joe Louis in Montreal?
So Mint Meltaways, it's just a famous Chicago. There's a couple famous chocolate mint.
How Leah is throwing the word famous around, Becky.
Well, I believe her that these are actually famous, not like the coffee shop 2 blocks away. This place is famous. Do you mean popular, Lily? Lily just uses the word famous often.
Well, you're about to eat some famous chocolate, so good for you.
Okay.
Can we try them? Is this where?
Yeah, we got to try them right now. So we're gonna have these mint meltaways.
So,
I'm gonna.
No, I'm just saying I'm a peppermint patty gal.
Okay.
Like if I'm gonna have to choose, let's say, between a Reese's and a peppermint patty, I'm gonna go.
You have to have the Pearson. So you know,
I'm really excited.
Right?
No,
Sister hate the
salted.
No, they make a.
Disagree.
They make a mint patty that I think
that is
fine.
It's legitimate.
Are the peanuts equally stale? I'm just curious.
There's no peanuts in the mint patty.
Okay, then I'll try it.
Not all of the Pearson's candies are. I see how you would think that. So I want to just describe these candies for everyone. There's it's like a checkered row. It looks like a checkerboard in a way, and there's chocolate and neon green.
So are they?
I'm here. So can you show it up? Hold it up to the screen for me.
Wait, so are they?
Yeah. Do you see them?
Oh, do you have to eat them together to get them in?
Is it all the same?
It's like one chocolate, one mint, and you just put both in your mouth?
Or are they the same flavor each?
I don't remember.
Oh no, a rich chocolate mint center covered in milk chocolate or creamy pastel coating.
I don't think that's a food item.
It's milk chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
is pastel coating a flavor?
Huh?
Lily, this is pastel. It's neon flavor. It looks like white chocolate, maybe, or fondant.
Or
fondant
is right into than I expected.
So these are famous.
No, but they melt away.
Because they're mint meltaways.
Oh, I love this. This I like. I don't like chocolate, but I like a mint chocolate. Weird.
That's good. It's like a pillow mint, but with more.
Okay, so here's my question: is this like an after dinner treat? Maybe. Like, when are people eating these?
I mean, I think you could brush your teeth with these in the morning.
I will.
These are. You're going. There's two. There's more now, but there's Marshall Fields has, which is now bought by Macy's, but they kept their candy department. And they have Frango mints, and then there's Fannie Mae mint meltaways. So these are, if I'm going on a business trip to Japan and you have to have gifts out the wazoo for every person you meet, you buy the 4 packs of mint meltaways or Frango mints.
Well,
so these are maybe
only for business trips to Japan.
No, this would be great after a meal.
That's
in Japan.
Gift giving is, I think,
business.
Leah's talking about how it's a tradition. It's part of doing business.
Right. But like, if let's say you're not doing business, when do you eat them in the United States?
No, I think it's like a perfect after dinner
or with like a coffee. Like these would be really nice. With
this goes well with my mint tea that I'm drinking.
I'd be like, midday, I always need a little sweet hit.
Afternoon.
I always I have to end the meal with just like a little bite of
otherwise I just have to eat all day.
Oh, exactly. So like this would be very good for that. Whereas what I brought Leah to me is more of like a palate opener. Once I start, it's very hard to stop.
The
So
cookies
Becky
you
did
made.
something just to make you more jealous. I love this episode. This is Lily is jealous.
I'm like, I literally have so much saliva in my mouth.
Well, Lily,
Between the cookies
Becky
and
made
the
fresh
treats,
cookies
I'm like,
for Leah to try.
It's my favorite thing
She's not even letting me try.
that I wanted to share with Leah because I know favorite things and sweet treats are two things that Leah, sorry,
It's all right.
it's programming. Leah,
How I know how much you.
yeah,
it's true.
seriously.
And how two things I know Leah deeply appreciates and would care about what I care about, and knowing that makes me want to
Right. It's like
share
a finding favorites candy chat.
that crossover moment. And it's not because I think oftentimes you do something nice for someone and they're like, oh, cool, thanks. But how much does it really matter to them? And based
The
on
effort you went into.
and I just feel like I want to share my favorite sweet treat with
Thank
you.
you.
But in fairness, Becky has never made this before
brand
and
new
doesn't know what it tastes like. So,
So,
but Becky
it's
likes
very-
chocolate chip cookies. So,
chocolate cookies are-
shall we?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Everyone.
Do I get to try one?
Do you need a
Becky was not
Are
clear
these
as
meant to
whether-
be? Oh my god, those look good.
Hey.
The
Are
size
those-
of my face?
How do they get wrinkly like
Okay,
that?
so it's a technique called the pan banging cookie. And it is very labor intensive. And as they are
That sounds
baking in the oven-
inappropriate.
I know.
It's a pandemic sex.
Yeah.
cookie.
Sex cookie. It's what it will lead to. Everyone be careful. No, so as you're baking them, you take them out, you open the oven and you bang them down on the oven rack
What?
every
Oh.
2 minutes to get them to flatten and crinkle
Really?
out.
Because
Wow.
What?
the Pillsbury ones just flatten. Like
No, but these have ripples. They have ridges.
Mm.
Which
So
is-
you're just
wow. Okay.
banging
you
your
like bake it a certain amount, like half.
and it's not a problem that you open the oven and the
No,
heat.
it's you do it really quick.
Mm.
You open, bang, close. 2 minutes. Open. Bang.
Becky, this is like a store cookie. This is really good. It's Lily. It's just like crispy with like a layer of mushiness.
Yeah,
And
like
some
a
salt
gooey
on top.
center with like a little.
Do they have butter in them?
so much?
Yeah.
So much.
Okay.
butter.
And what kind of
Not
chocolate's
that
in
much.
there?
Not that much. It's I used
But like Becky could sell these.
like a bar of chocolate. I think
bar of chocolate.
2 bars of chocolate. I think it was either
3 bars
I
of.
think it was 1 Ghirardelli and 1 Lindt barred chocolate chopped up.
Isn't there a
Milk
new,
or dark?
Isn't there a new
Semi-sweet.
TikTok trend of like butter boofing or something? Or
Oh, it's like butter trays.
No,
Ugh.
don't. We can wait for a Josh's complaints episode because nothing makes me want to barf more than watching somebody make and then eat a butter board.
Ew.
It's just like
Have you seen this?
Although I do love at a restaurant when they provide me with multiple butters to taste. It's so fun.
that's fine. I don't want to be
So what's
smearing my food with everybody else's schmears. That's what a butter board is.
It is like
you're just
Like
dipping?
people putting their hands in like a
No
bucket of butter to
imagine you
smearing it
take-
around.
Imagine you take
No.
a cutting board
Ugh,
and
I
then
can't.
you take like a brick of butter and you smear the butter all over the board. And then you sprinkle toppings on it. And then everybody comes to the party with their like piece of bread or their tortilla chip or whatever. And you just scoop up butter from the board all together.
nobody's
smearing it
eating
around.
butter with tortilla chips.
I mean,
That's what I was thinking also, Leah. I was like, she's never
This sounds-
seen
this
butter
sounds like a
before.
pandemic creation. We don't have anything left. All right, just smear some butter on that
Butter on the
cutting
board.
board.
What do you
Uh,
think of the cookie?
What'd you say?
oh, we
What does
didn't
Leah
get
think of the
yeah.
cookie?
Oh yeah, Leah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Because I've been silently eating the cookie so that you won't know. Like it is so good.
Oh, good. I'm
It is.
glad.
It is like Okay, a bon pan. It is not like that. There's a
Tate's Bake Shop. It makes me think of
Le
Le Pan
Pan
Quotidien.
Yeah. The
Pan
date.
Quotidien.
Yeah. That one.
PQ. Becky just calls
Funny,
it
I always,
PQ.
I always
PQ.
mispronounce. I always
The PQ.
mistranslate it, and I'm like Quotidien. Does that mean-
Daily
Yeah.
bread.
Quotidien.
Yeah, but I always think
Quotidien.
like it means quarterly, so I call it the quarterly bread, but it means the daily bread.
The
right?
daily
Daily
bread.
bread.
It just seems like it should be the quarterly bread.
They have a giant. They sell like a even bigger chocolate chip cookie that I used to get regularly when I was at a job that was very toxic, and the only cure was an afternoon chocolate
Cookie.
chip cookie
Mhm.
that I would pretend was for the week, and it was not.
Well, it's the weekly.
These are so good. They're so good.
That's great, Beck. Good job.
If I may, my one thing is I would personally add more chocolate next time. I feel like we can up the chocolate to cookie ratio, but that's a personal preference. How much?
Did you watch a video to figure out how to bang your pan?
Yes.
You did, didn't you?
About 7 videos. And then I just threw it all out the window and I went with my instincts because I wasn't getting the ripples I wanted. So I did my own thing.
Amazing.
Wow.
I studied this recipe for a couple of days before making it.
So now that we've done some Weird Al, we've done some candy, some cookies. This is a movie podcast. We're going to talk about some movie stuff. And
I forgot we were even on the podcast. I'm having so much fun.
Because we have an ambassador of candy here, candy in movies is something that I instinctively, like, I think everybody says, oh yeah, candy in movies, but then you got to think a little bit. What are there? I have some that come to my mind, but do any of you have like major significant candy moments in movies that like matter to you?
Candy moment.
Right. I mean, like, for example, right, Willy Wonka. Like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
To this day, I sit around imagining what the scrumdiddlyumptious could taste like. In my mind, by the way, as I said on Candy Chat, it's the bit Mr. Big, the Canadian chocolate bar Mr. Big. That's what this scrumdiddlyumptious would be for me, but I don't know. All the Wonka bar is just a chocolate bar. But
I think that's a chocolate bar, right?
I don't know. I think that movie is really terrifying.
Okay, so you don't think of the candy in that movie. You don't think of like that.
No.
Like those mushrooms with the like sloppy.
I want to know what the snozberries taste like. Isn't that?
That's there. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what snozberry tastes like.
I mean, I think what's hard about Willy Wonka is like the whole movie is candy. I sent you a TikTok and maybe just link to it.
Oh no, we watched it.
Oh, we watched it.
Oh my god.
That was
okay.
I didn't realize what it was or that it was a joke.
Was this the one you sent me the tweet?
The tweet this morning.
You
guys all watched it.
I'm watching it thinking, like, I'm gearing myself to feel really badly for this young woman.
She's
I'm like,
crying.
oh
Those
my gosh,
real.
It is not okay to take advantage of people and to embarrass them. You know, this world is just filled with trolls, and I get all riled up until I realize
she's just telling the plot of.
She's telling the plot of Willy Wonka.
Lisa Gilroy. That's who it is. I don't know who Lisa Gilroy is, but she's Canadian.
She sounds Canadian. I was thinking that. And I recommend people check it out and check out that video, because what's so interesting about that video is, did you guys read the comments?
Yeah.
So wait, just the premise is this woman, actor talks about inviting some followers in a contest to come to her work. And then she starts,
come on set, see a new project.
And then she starts telling the disrespectful things they did, and then you realize she's just all a setup. She's just telling you the plot of Willy Wonka.
This one kid brought his grandpa when I said that, like,
nope,
you couldn't. That like, it's until the
this kid put his hand in the chocolate fountain. I still thought
no, I didn't.
It was real.
I thought that was real. Right. It's when she said that the girl blew up the size of a blueberry.
Or like a kid shrunk teeny tiny, and they're still stretching him, and he looks all weird, and she's crying.
So tall and skinny.
She's great. Like, her acting was fantastic.
So good.
But what complements the video even more is the insane comments. The comments are they range from, and it's just, I never read comments, right? Like, I'm not sitting around reading, but I just like was scrolling and enjoying the shit out of that, because it ranges from people fully going in on it with her and like being like, you're trying to play the victim when you stole an entire people from their land and they work for you for what wages, like slave labor, like how dare you, right? Talking about the Oompa Loompas.
Houses shouldn't
throw stones, and never mentioning Oompa Loompas, but and then other people being like, are you trying to make like fun of people who share their trauma on social media? Because this is really not okay.
I'm like, I don't know.
I saw
other people who believed her, who were like, I'm really sorry you went through this. Oh my God. And so
I like there was a reply I saw where someone was like doubling down on the bit. And then somebody else replied and was like, hey, do you know she's just making a joke about Willy Wonka.
Oh,
And they were like, yeah, I'm making the same joke.
Same joke. Like the comments, like the video I think was hilarious. The comments make me all at once appreciate humanity and be very and then also very worried. Like I made me very anxious how serious people take things.
So again, this is at the Lisa Gilroy, who is an actor, comedian, and Canadian. Great. So that's
awesome.
Okay, so other than Willy Wonka, what are we?
Okay, so
I've got one
because it's candy.
I have a few. Go ahead.
And this comes up anytime I eat like a Twix or something with the same form factor. Which there's a scene in Caddyshack.
Oh yeah,
someone throws a candy bar.
It's a Baby Ruth. It's a baby Ruth. Caddyshack, but you're right. It's the form.
It's the form factor, and the whole pool gets cleared out for poop.
Right.
Yeah, I have to not think about that a lot. Like that came to your mind. That's a scene I have to, because I love Baby Ruth so much. I have to block that out of my mind because it's just chocolate in the pool. But the fact that it's chocolate thought to be a turd really messes with me. Just messes with me.
Okay, I have two.
Okay.
Unless you want to go first.
No, go ahead, Mom.
Okay. So
because you're not here in person enjoying all the food,
doesn't mean I can't go
on the podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna go. My
Really,
first
I have
one.
an idea. How about you and I don't go to Weird Al tonight and we hang out?
Aww.
No,
I wasn't invited either. If it makes you feel better.
No, I'm just trolling the guy. It's so mean. He invites me to everything. He invited me, and I said I can't go. I want to be very clear.
Okay, so you're on a bench, and some stranger just like opens a box of chocolates and is like, life is like this box of chocolates. You want to eat one? Do you eat a piece of chocolate?
I'd be like, no, you're clearly trying to drug me and kidnap me.
Yes.
I'm not eating your sketchy
box of chocolates.
Man in an overcoat.
Right?
Yeah,
that's like a very important moment in that movie, though.
I'm not a big box of chocolates fan, so I've always
me neither.
Like
the assortment stresses me out. Like I can't. I always have to read the menu. I'm like always holding that book.
No, you do.
To try and figure out what you just take a bite of each one.
Put it back. Take a bite. Put it back until you find the one with that like hard but gooey caramel flavor. That's the only one you want, and you just kind of go.
I do like the ones that look like they are like Legos, like they don't even look like they've been painted in such a way where it's just like. And I like the weird heart. There's always one weird red heart.
It's always filled with a cherry.
That's mom's favorite. That's our mom's favorite, and it's the worst one. She loves those.
But it's good to have someone who loves the gross candies in your household.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true. Allie loves black licorice. I mean, actually, you know what? That doesn't come in anything. So you actually have to just buy it separately because no one
wants it. That's why it's separate from everything.
It's never in the box of chocolate. Like and black licorice. They
drew the line at black
licorice. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say the line for my other one.
Oh, you're gonna say okay.
Yeah. You're gonna want a gummy bear? It's been in my pocket.
Yeah.
What's that?
They're real warm and soft.
What's that from?
Come on, guys.
I know.
Is it Tommy Boy? I just assume it's Tommy Boy, but it's probably
that's another amazing moment of candy.
That's not what I was saying. Dynamite?
Nope.
No, it's not Napoleon Dynamite.
But I
feel like it's something with John Cusack. I feel like it's something from the 80s.
You're kind of it's from the 80s. You're close, but it's not John Cusack.
It's not say anything.
We're not better off dead.
No. Is it possible it takes place in your city?
Is it a John Hughes movie?
Oh, is it in Ferris Bueller?
Yes, Ferris Bueller's. Does that take place in Chicago?
Yeah. Who offers that?
It's the like nerdy girl, like the super geeky girl.
Oh, but I mean that does take place in Chicago. It's a John Hughes.
Yeah, it's a classic Chicago movie.
I jumped to Tommy Boy because
that's like the other best one.
First of all, your head's like
your brain has a thick candy shell. He's like, do you want an M&M? They have a thin candy shell. Your brain has a thick candy shell.
And all the M&Ms go.
All the M&Ms falling into his dashboard.
And I love that because I was on a road trip with Danny Newman once, and I spilled a bag of pretzels under his seat in his car.
Oh.
And no matter how many pretzels you pulled out of there was never.
There's like this unbelievable like black hole under the seats of the car. Mom once spilled an entire bag of pistachios in my car, and I cleaned them out. And for years, every time we went downhill, you would just hear and more pistachios would come out of the abyss of the car and roll down the van into the front seat. So I feel amazing.
You. So Thick Candy Shell, I also think of because I just rewatched it. One of my biggest change of opinions ever is E.T. The Reese's Pieces in E.T. I will say, even though my kids were traumatized, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
No, people say Reese's Pieces.
Oh, right. That is. I've heard you talk about that on your show. Yeah.
We say
Reese's
Pieces.
Yeah, because it's Reese's.
But people say Reese's.
But
Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
But like Noah Reese's last name is Reese.
Pieces.
It's Reese's Possessive.
Reese's Pieces.
Is his last name Reese?
No, I'm saying it wrong, but I just
okay.
Really committed to it.
Some people pronounce it
that way.
You've never heard
so
Manzukis and Leah Jones.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Hollywood it couple.
That's pretty important. That's pretty okay.
In that case, I will accept it, but not use it.
I'll tomato it, but I've heard it both ways. That while my kids were traumatized by the movie, while we were watching the movie, I ordered on Uber Eats because this is a very me thing to do. I ordered on Uber Eats, and of course I had to get the threshold to get the free delivery. So I ordered $40 worth of Reese's items of all the different types. Yeah, so we had bags of them. We were eating them.
I was eating them every time I come over. Like,
do you guys not have GoPuff here?
I don't. What's a GoPuff?
GoPuff is like bodega delivery. So you don't have to do. We'll look at it.
Chicago's so cool. My God, I feel like you guys.
Chicago. I have to say, Chicago.
Chicago's definitely cooler than DC, Shai. Just
yeah. I mean, having been to Chicago, every time I walk around Chicago, I'm always like,
is it really as windy as they say?
No,
Becky hates wind.
That's an
She's never going there.
From the hot air of the politicians, right? It's not.
Oh,
but also it's very windy.
I thought it was just very windy.
I mean, it is windy because it's by the lake, but like, is it more windy than?
So
is it more windy than walking by the Potomac? I don't know.
Do you often walk by the Potomac?
I mean, we live by the. Anyways, Chicago. I always walk around Chicago going like, "Whoa, Chicago!"
I'm like really relieved to know that because I feel like I haven't wanted to visit because of how much I hate wind. So this is kind of like a big deal.
It's like Toronto, but bigger.
Yeah, it's just the other.
But better.
It's on a Great Lake. Definitely. It's a city on a Great Lake.
I should definitely visit Chicago.
Is Chicago? Eating is on such an advanced level in Chicago.
It seems like they really took it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Every level of eating is great. Like you want to have a hot dog or a bratwurst or something like that, it's great.
I mean, the pizza.
You want to go to fine dining, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
They just
Okay, so they will.
Cocktails. Yeah. The best Manhattan I've ever had in my life was in Chicago, not Manhattan.
So you're saying is that they will bring you. It's a specific service that does bodega runs.
Yeah. So I was recording. I now don't go. It is sometimes faster for me to order from GoPuff than to walk 1 block to the bodega on my corner.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also better selection. So I have been in the middle of recording a podcast and so my bodega resells everything from Kirkland that you're not allowed to resell.
Amazing. Amazing.
Every single item says
they should.
Not for individual.
Not for individual resale. Amazing.
I mean, it was great during peak pandemic because like he actually had like milk and bread and eggs when other people didn't. So I have been recording a podcast. A guest mentioned that she loved Nerds. I get on GoPuff. I order every type of Nerds candy they have.
My kids love Nerds.
And get it delivered within 15 minutes.
Amazing. I love Nerds.
That's very solid.
Yeah. So now I'll get like a big bottle of cold brew. Get bottles of cold brew and like half and half and just like delivered. And I don't leave my house unless
I do feel like you and Shy are definitely friend soulmates. These
Yeah, we became friends
stories,
right away.
Yeah.
Like
it's more than a kindred spirit. It's you are. I mean, wow.
it was like, hey, you like
Incredible.
podcasts? Yeah. All right,
You
we're
like ordering
friends.
things online?
Ordering things
do
online.
this.
Hate leaving your house.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
Love
so
Weird Al. This is great.
another candy moment that I would bring up is in Goonies, the baby Ruth that makes Chunk and Sloth friends. That to me is a big moment. It's like a very heartfelt, like candy being used to make friends and break, through.
I mean, the amount of, if you really think about it, the amount of important candy moments is extensive. It's way more than I thought.
Okay, here's the question. Tell me if this is a candy moment. Princess Bride. He's not quite dead.
Like the candy
that Max, right? Max, the
the pill.
It's a pill.
Covers it in chocolate.
Yeah.
Is that like the vitamins I give my kids?
Or like
definitely
X-Lax that's chocolate?
Yeah, it's definitely just gummy bears. But they like just put it in a bottle that says multivitamin.
Well, it's like the way cereal has vitamins.
Yeah. I don't know if
I think that's a candy for sure, because whenever he gives it to him, I'm always like, I wonder what that tastes like. For sure. That's a great one, lesser known one.
I feel like it might come across more in the book, that it's like how layered it is.
I love that book.
Oh, so it really is a book.
Oh, it's such a good book.
It's not just a kid reading a book.
No,
Peter Falk.
The book is, if the movie is the greatest thing ever.
Of the movie.
No, there was a real book that came first,
Yeah.
but the book has Grandpa reading the book.
The book.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. So that wasn't just made up.
And the book is phenomenal.
Like
so much.
Should I imagine
on the side characters?
Longer?
Oh, good. No, but imagine how good the movie is.
You're never gonna read it, so.
Like, and then just exponentially, the book is even better, but the movie's already so good.
You both have secretly read this book?
No, Becky read it and she gave me her copy.
I did not. I'm sure I didn't.
Oh, maybe you just gave me a copy.
I know I didn't give you my actual copy has a lot of sentimental value. I'm sure.
So you probably gave me a copy. Yeah, and I love that book.
What about the movie? What about the movie Chocolate?
I was thinking about that, but
is that Alfred Molina plays like a grumpy guy who gets made happy by chocolate?
Johnny Depp is in that.
Johnny Depp.
Alfred Molina is not in that movie.
No, shouldn't.
I don't know. Juliette Binoche. They make chocolate.
I don't like Water for Chocolate.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Which
that's
in
a different
mind,
movie.
always
feelings.
In my mind, that one is always the same as Strawberry and Chocolate, which Mom
different
also
movie.
talked about. And because I can't tell the difference, I haven't seen either because it just very. By the way,
nobody.
In Chocolate.
I don't think anybody here saw Bros except for me. But it's
on my list still.
In the new
it's on demand today.
Bros.
Can't wait to not go to a theater to see it.
You know, there's a storyline about chocolate making and becoming a chocolatier. Yeah. So there's a whole storyline.
Leah's had a legit chocolatier family on your show.
Montreal.
A Montreal chocolatier.
Oh,
a Jewish Montreal chocolatier.
Interesting.
We were friends with the Jewish Montreal pickle heirs.
Yes. Still friends.
No, we're not. Who is Weird Al
the pickle heir went to the full circle.
Are there any good candy scenes in Amelie?
There's a chicken scene. I don't know if
there's the lentil scene. Maybe
and there's the chicken scene. I don't know if there's
a photo booth scene.
Photo booth. It feels like one that would have candy in it.
Is there a line where something isn't candy? Like you said, the chocolate. Another one for me, which I think is maybe the greatest food scene ever, but I think it's not candy.
That's an apple pie, Shy.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, I'm talking about the food fight in Hook.
I know, but we can't. That is
bring it up every time.
That's a food scene, a food fight scene. I know,
but it's all like cake and like dessert.
It's more frosting. Frosting.
A lot of frosting.
I know one candy specific scene reference that upsets Shy so much.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, which is what I thought you were talking about before.
What is this?
Hedwig and the Angry Ed.
The Goomy Bears.
Oh, the Goomy Bears.
Because it's like, isn't it a metaphor for the kid being molested?
Yes.
Yeah, like it's effective. And it's a very beautifully shot scene, but
You have brought that up to me. Like anytime I've been like, oh,
I can't eat gummy bears because I can't eat gummy bears because of that. Okay. We've done candy. Everyone okay on time?
Yeah.
On time?
Yeah.
What do I have to do? Go make more cookies?
I don't know. Lily, are you okay on time?
Yeah, I have a few more minutes.
All right, cool. All right. So we've talked about candies. We've talked about Weird Al, but Leah is the queen of favorites, the favorites without an algorithm. And we would love to know, what are some of your favorites these days? What shows, what movies? This kind of be our segue to shout outs and recs, but like, what have you been consuming?
So I have continued to I'm making my way through Deadwood.
I haven't been able to see it.
How far into it are you?
Into it.
The sheriff's stepson just got hit by the horse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's season
you're
2?
2? Maybe end of 2.
End of 2 then.
You're
into it.
Yeah.
But it is getting more and more. I can watch less and less of it at a time.
So
when season 1, I was able to watch like 4 or 5 episodes back to back, and now
I can't even get through one.
The last episode of season 1 is I think it is one of the greatest hours of television ever made.
Yes.
It gets increasingly brutal, and you feel increasingly helpless as season 3 goes on.
Yeah.
I will say,
and then there's no season 4.
But the movie, which takes place after a time jump or 10 years later, is, I think, A, really well done, and B, it's not a happy ending, because this is not a show that it gives you a happy ending, but it makes you feel a lot more resolved than that season. The season 3, just you're like,
yeah.
So,
but the movie is an ending, and so like you it's a complete thing, and I'm really glad HBO did that. I don't know why they did it. I guess
has Calamity Jane, is she in it yet in season 2? Is that a season 3?
She's in
Calamity Jane's from the beginning.
No,
she's in it from the beginning.
Yeah,
she's from the beginning.
I saw the first episode and she's in.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she ended.
I mean, she's
her
incredible.
role changes. Like her,
so good.
Yeah,
because she's kind of a mess, and then she's
incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm still chipping away at that.
Have you also seen Justified? Like, are you a Timothy Olyphant in a cowboy hat fan?
I've seen Timothy Olyphant in The Good Place.
Where
he wears a cowboy hat and cowboy.
Oh, right. It's a whole reference to Justified.
Yes.
So what I would say,
Justified is great.
So what I would recommend is that when you finish Deadwood, I'll finish the movie.
Yeah.
Go down a Timothy Olyphant rabbit hole.
You're gonna miss Timothy Olyphant, I think, a lot. Partially because that character is so rigid, and you're like, oh, And so Justified, where he's the hero, is a really good show through 6 seasons. So 6 seasons of good TV.
Yeah. So I'm working my way through it, and I thought I would just watch. I watched the pilot just so I could. Because I was interviewing kind of a heavy hitter about Deadwood on my podcast, Matt Zoller.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like wrote the biography on David Milch and wrote the Deadwood Bible. And so I was like, I guess he's kind of a big deal. I should watch an episode. Send me a free copy of his book.
That's awesome.
So then so that's Deadwood. I'm really enjoying Reboot.
Yes. I just watched the 7th episode yesterday.
I am not caught up. I'm maybe 4 or 5 episodes.
Reboot is my wife throughout the episode just repeatedly says, this show is so good. This show is so well written, because it's a show about people writing a show, right? And that can be like, one of my frustrations about 30 Rock was I always wanted 30 Rock to be about them making the show. And the bit on 30 Rock is that it really wasn't about it, right? It was about everything else. And that's probably why it survived.
Yeah.
But like, I always had like a thing for the Sunset Strip show, that Sorkin show, which people seem to not like, right? Reboot manages to really stay about them making the show, but pull some really beautiful human threads.
I am thrilled to see Paul Reiser back.
He's so good in it.
So good. I love the intergenerational stuff happening in the writer's room because it is so real. Because that is honestly, regardless of workplace. Now, all workplaces aren't as, the senior people aren't as
R-rated,
right? but we have some young people. I know some young people who are uncomfortable with like how much the boomers cuss in work now. And I'm like, or how much Gen X is cussing.
Interesting.
And so there's some of that even like the writer's room workplace comedy that translates to other workplaces.
It's a really, and again, it's super funny and it's super thoughtful. And like Hacks, there's balance on who's right at different times, which to me, with the intergenerational comedy thing, is so hard to. I'm so impressed with how well they land it.
Now Hacks gives me so much anxiety that I can't get through an episode anymore.
Really?
Season 2 is amazing.
I loved it.
I love season 1. I put it right in my veins. And season 2,
it's really good though. Season 2.
The episode where she's taken the woman she got cut from like her whole comedy career.
Oh,
like she takes her she meets her at a Macy's or at a department store, and then she takes her and the grandson out to a theme park for a fun day, but then she still has to beat her. And I think she's about to confess, and I was like, I can't. It like makes my bones hurt.
Oh, the resolution of that story
is good.
Kind of what you'd expect. It's good.
Okay.
It's good though.
I just got. I was like, I can't handle it. There are
great.
When...
But they wrap it up really, really well.
Season 2 could be the end of the show, and
it'd be fine.
I think it is the end. I assumed it was the end. It was so.
I don't know. She just won another Emmy.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was so well done that those 2 seasons are perfect to me. I don't think you need more.
Yeah, what they need now is the spin-off show of Jimmy and his assistant. Because
my god,
just
Megan Stalter is so funny.
So funny, the 2 of them.
Hack season 2 is amazing, and like Righteous Gemstones, and I gotta give it to HBO, right? Like the OGs of prestige short season
television,
right? Like every once in a while they come back and they kind of just show you how it's done. And Righteous Gemstones season 2, I felt the same thing, because at the end of season 1, I'm like, I don't need another season.
Right,
this is perfect. Great. And then they gave me a season 2, and I was like, I don't need another season. This is perfect. And I trust them now to give me a 3rd season.
Right.
Yeah.
So the movie I went to recently that I loved was 3,000 Years of Longing.
It was good.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'm so glad you said it's good.
Nothing about that commercial made me want to see it.
It's a great rec. I'm really excited that you endorse that.
Well, Ronnie and I had a big debate over it. I was like, I really want to see 3,000 Years of Longing. And he was like, it's a horror film. Why would you go? And I was like,
a horror film?
I'm like, it's a romance. And he was like, how did you get that? We were both got like what we wanted from the preview.
Amazing.
Preview.
And then he saw it with a cousin, and he was like, okay, I would see it again. And you're right, it's not a horror film. And it is like beautiful, deep conversations and storytelling and some magical realism. And it's just like lush, him telling his personal history. That's beautiful. And there's all these little elements that keep coming in and out.
Wonderful.
So 3,000 Years of Longing.
Did you see it in the theaters?
I felt like it was like a stylized episode of The Witcher based on the commercial. There's a guy who's a djinn and a
a genie. A genie.
And Quentin finds her.
Like exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well,
really.
Is it in the theaters, or can you see it
comedy based
at
on
home?
Based on the preview, I'm like, this looks like a comedy.
I thought it was a comedy for sure. It looked amazing.
It's beautiful. I saw it in the theaters in September. I don't know if it'll translate to TV.
Eventually.
A big TV. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Which is how we do things.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Big TVs.
And then I think then the other 2 sitcoms I will shout out are because we talked a little bit about how I'm going to talk to your kids about Nicole Byer.
I love
Nicole Byer,
but
they know you are an expert.
The combination of Grand Crew, which is Nicole Byer's new sitcom, and Home Economics, which is Sashir Zameda's new sitcom with Topher Grace, and
so that is good.
I enjoy both of them.
Okay,
yeah.
So I didn't know Nicole Byer had a sitcom. Tell me more, because I need to now watch this.
So it's called Grand Crew, and it's about a group of friends. They're of Black friends in LA, who one of them dates the bartender, so they lose their dive bar and they have to find a new bar to hang out in, and so they start hanging out in a wine bar. So it's Grand Cru, right? Grand Cru is a type of wine bottle.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about wine. That's cool. Okay,
so it's a friend comedy, like
okay. And Nicole Byer's
and Nicole Byer. It's Nicole Byer, Carl Tart, and other people who are also funny.
Where can we watch this?
Hulu.
Oh, can't wait. I'm
Peacock. I don't know. I watch it on Hulu.
I'm checking. It is a little bit confusing.
Especially when you can see multiple, like when you can see a show on multiple.
Well, because the Peacock shows are on TV, and so then they appear on Hulu if they aired on network. It gets a little bit confusing.
Right.
Is it all out, or are they releasing it in pieces?
It's a weekly show. So season 1 is all out, so you can binge that.
Okay, Grand Crew. I'm intrigued. Now tell me about home economics, because that, being close with my siblings, that concept made me very anxious. You all know what the premise is that there's 3 siblings and like one of them becomes rich.
It is dealing with the comedy of when siblings are at different socioeconomic levels. So there's one brother who's like the tech, they're all in the Bay Area. So one's the tech bro.
Becky's getting anxious.
Who made a lot of money.
Yep.
Ike Barinholtz, right? Is Ike Barinholtz the one that made a lot of money?
No, I thought it was Topher Grace.
Ike Barinholtz is not in the show? Oh, no, it's the guy who looks like Ike Barinholtz.
Yeah, I was like...
That guy who looked like Ike. That isn't Ike Barinholtz's brother. Okay, hold on. It's not.
So he is the rich one, and they all have...
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Tetro.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like Ike Barinholtz.
Okay, I thought it was Topher Grace that was the rich one.
Topher Grace is had a big novel. He's like a mid-level author, but we know authors don't actually make money, and his wife is a lawyer. So they're the middle class family. And then the sister and her wife are both public school teachers. Right. So it's very stratified in the Bay Area. And and Topher Grace's, this is not a spoiler, he starts writing a novel based on their family called Home Economics, based on dealing with being the one making the middle amount of money and being like jealous, but also like glad he's not the poor one. But it's really good family dynamic.
Okay, because it makes me anxious. The idea of like, maybe it's because I'm the older brother and I feel responsible for my sisters. The idea of this has always given me a lot of stress.
It's really fun.
Okay.
Because
is it like Life in Pieces kind of vibes? Did you watch that show?
No.
Oh, I love that show.
That also has economic differences between families.
Yeah, it's more modern family.
Okay. So that is like Life in Pieces.
Comedy.
Okay.
Straight up comedy. There are 3 locations, which are each of their apartments or houses.
Oh, good. Okay. The fact that you're saying it's straight up comedy makes me.
Okay. It sounds a lot like Life in Pieces.
Yeah.
3 locations. Like it has like, okay, that's amazing. All right. This is quality recommendation. Yeah. Becky, how about you?
Oh, I honestly, every night I've watched a couple episodes of Minx. I think I have 1 left. And so I'm, since the last time we recorded, I'm still watching that. And I get very tunnel vision. Once I start something, I often want it to be the only thing I'm watching until it's finished. And then I move on and then I keep certain shows that I rotate in where it's like, okay, I've watched 3 in a row. I need to just have like a little snack. So I'll throw in what we do.
Jake is the snack.
In Minx.
Oh, Jake Johnson.
No, I'll throw
I gotta tell you, I
in the shadows, and I'll be like, because I can only watch 1 of those at a time.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny, but it's just like it's so much. So I'll do like, okay, and then I'll like end the night, and I'll do 1 What We Do in the Shadows. Be like,
do you know that Iota Berry, right, co-star of The Bear?
Yeah.
Okay. Nominated for an Emmy for writing What We Do in the Shadows. Like, how talented is that woman? She's incredible.
That show is so funny.
The Bear, which takes place in Chicago.
Great Chicago show.
Can't watch it.
Oh, really?
Really?
I watched like 10 minutes of the first episode.
What?
I love how much everyone here is stressed out by TV.
Watching
why?
With that
it's
stress
so good.
Relax, because I'm like, I'm not that stressed. I see that, and it's like squeezing a stress ball, and I go, that's not my life. It's pretty chill.
Okay, who's worked in a restaurant?
Oh, not
I
me.
was in a bar. That's about it.
Okay.
When did Becky
actually, that's not true. I
bar?
did work in a restaurant. Why did I say not me?
You did. Lily made salad.
I made salads
at a salad hut. You worked at
that's a restaurant.
Parks and Rec.
Inside of a clothing store. It's not like you were in a mall food court.
You weren't like firing food rush. I never have. I couldn't. I'm a front of the house guy at best.
Yeah.
I worked at a I worked at
Becky keeps saying a bar with no name. She's thinking up the name right now. She's trying to.
Vol de Nuit.
Vol de Nuit.
You did not work at
I
Vol
worked
de
at-
freaking Nuit.
She did.
You worked at the iconic
Yes,
Prince
she did.
Arthur bar. That just
Yeah.
that
across the street from Cafe de Nuit, not Cafe de Nuit.
Yeah, no.
Vol de Nuit.
Cafe de Nuit was
Like, Vol de
my.
Nuit, like
No,
the
you-
little, like
You weren't in Montreal for those years.
bar, yeah. Mhm.
It's like I
I
don't
worked
even
there.
know you sometimes.
It was when I was
Still learning
in
new things about
my-
Becky.
It was when I was in my last year of college. That
How
summer.
long did you work there?
Like 6
I
months.
worked there?
And were you
Maybe.
fired?
Okay, no, because technically no one worked there because none of us were on like
Oh,
the
that's
books.
how that
You would
place
just
worked.
like
That's right.
turn up and be like, yeah, sure, you can serve people drinks. So and like collect tips and we'll like throw some coins at you at the end of the night. So I worked there for a few months until I made enough money to again not quit, just never show up again, and went to Spain with Lily.
Yeah,
That's what I did.
sure.
I like
Wow.
basically worked there enough to like get exactly the amount of money
This is just
needed to go, and then we left.
wow. You think
You
you
didn't
know
know that?
someone? I know that's amazing.
I also
Right.
worked
Yeah.
at a candy shop that sold fudge and ice cream, and that I did get fired from after 2 weeks. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I gave away too much ice cream to old people. I hated charging when older people would come in. It just felt very weird to charge an old person for an ice cream cone. I don't know.
Why they've made their money?
I just felt weird to be like, why I can't charge like this grandpa for ice cream because it's so sweet that he's like ordering an ice cream. And I got fired.
Where was this?
It was on Saint Laurent. There was just like obviously that didn't last long because I hired people like me who just gave all the food away.
That's amazing. Lily, what about you?
No, wait, we're still on the fact that like, so Becky and I technically have worked in the restaurant industry and we could watch The Bear. So you need to give it a try.
I'll try again.
Because it's really good.
The only food at
I'll
this
take an
bar
Ativan and
was,
watch
like,
it.
I do think it's the most efficient television I've ever seen in that the 22 minutes of each episode is so packed and so like perfect.
And the story does advance. It's not like you're just like watching this guy be stressed about running a restaurant the whole time.
But you
Like,
are, and it gets more and more stressful.
it gets more and more stressful, but there's a mystery that you're following.
I mostly
There's
got hungry
certainly
watching.
An episode. There's the one episode where it reaches its peak stress, where like there's no way to watch that and not feel like, actively anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a
That's
good
so yeah.
recommendation.
So wait, Lily, what have you been watching?
Okay, so I'm a little bit late to this train, the Kate Winslet train, but
Like you're just
HBO
watching Titanic?
like no,
or the holiday?
Jose was literally like, "What do I know that one from? What's she been in?" And I'm like, "Titanic," and he's like, "No, I didn't see that. What else would I know her from?" And I'm like, "Titanic? What the fuck are you talking about?"
El Vacaciones.
I don't know what that movie's called in
The
Spanish.
holiday.
The holiday.
Because she's in the holiday. No, that's a terrible movie. So not that movie, but
Movie is not terrible.
terrible.
Oh,
It's
Becky's
not.
coming around on it.
no,
Okay,
it's really
let's
bad.
be clear. There's a difference between making something a meh and making something a buy. Now, I'm not saying I'd go back and watch The Holiday every time I'm homesick, but when I watched it, I certainly enjoyed it.
Ugh, never mind. Anyways, so
Lily, everyone is a star-crossed
It's
lover
a
in there.
classic renter.
Ugh.
Really.
I'm not into that movie. Mayor of Easttown, though.
Oh, is that good?
Wowzer. Holy shit. Like
Oh, that's
That was her Philly accent. They made a really
what-
big deal about
her Philly accent. I just keep looking at Hustle and being like, you don't understand the way she
Oh,
says.
I thought her
spoon.
Philly accent was too much.
It was fine though. Come on, that's such a hard
They were like,
accent.
say
and
Wooder, and everyone will think
Wooder.
you're from.
it.
whatever,
And
she did a
Wawa
good
when you
job.
go on talk shows.
She did a good job. She did a good job, man.
She's great, and Jean Smart is in that also.
Jean Smart. Give her all the Emmys for
Yeah,
God's
Jean Smart's
sakes.
fantastic in that show. My problem with that show is that ultimately the mystery.
I didn't
is
finish
the
it. I have one
same
more
as
episode.
Broadchurch. But it's the same type of thing as Broadchurch.
I
It's
called. I haven't finished it. I have one episode left. I called the mystery already a few episodes back, but doesn't matter because it still caught me by surprise, that show. And it's a bit depressing. So maybe if you're not into something depressing, don't watch
yeah,
it.
but I tell people if you like The Mayor of Easttown and you want to watch
Oh,
what I think
Broadchurch
is a
is
much better
phenomenal.
show, watch
Yeah.
Broadchurch. But Broadchurch is like
I've seen
having
all of
your insides
Broadchurch.
scraped out. It's so hard
Yeah.
emotionally.
But the thing is that like I don't like depressing stuff. However, when you're watching something where the acting and the writing and the structure of the show is so good, it kind of like Broadchurch, it surpasses. I'm into it enough that it's okay that it's depressing because it's so good. So I'm very impressed with that show. On like a more funny note, I'm going to say it again. I said it last week. Bad Sisters, Apple Plus. I thought that was great. That was dark, very dark.
Is
humor,
it a movie
but
or a show?
it's a show.
Sharon Horgan.
Sharon
Everything's a show
Horgan.
these days.
That is true. Everything's
Sorry,
very.
that just she like every. I have to commit minimum of 8 episodes to everything I watch these days.
Some of these
then-
could be a movie.
Big ask.
Okay, wait.
Some
and
of these
then
could be a movie. The Mayor of Easttown could have been a good 2
cool
hour
movie. That could have been a great movie.
That
Yeah.
could have been like a Spotlight or a
Why does everyone have a show?
Gone Girl. Gone Girl. Gone Girl.
Yeah,
Gone
yeah,
Gone.
Gone
Gone
Girl.
Baby Gone.
or Gone Girl too. And then my mom. Oh, The Vow, which is on HBO, is a documentary series, so it's not a movie, but it is about the like NXIVM scandal, the cult. And Shy and I like love
that. I love a cult.
Dude, like Shy and I love a cult situation.
The commercial for that was nuts. Just the commercial for the
Shy. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna start with the last episode because I know what happens. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with the last episode and see if like this is worth it. I watched 2 minutes of the last episode. I was like, I'm going back to the beginning. I want to know the whole thing. I want to know everything.
That's
so
awesome.
the second part just came out.
Fiction or nonfiction this year?
It's a documentary. It's not
documentary.
As opposed to
about the scandal.
biopic,
you know
as Lily calls it.
No, like a fictionalized, like the when you. Watch
no. Sorry, no. Like the Dropout is a fictionalized version, right?
Okay.
No, this is a
biopics.
I do biopic is. I have a weird. I can't pronounce things well. That's like a thing.
Because
it's like on
French.
Have you guys watched on Letterkenny how the one guy always says breakfast, like he can't say breakfast. Daryl can't say breakfast. So funny.
And then Becky recommended this movie to me. I think it was Becky. I so recommend it. Watch it right now. Save it for your plane ride if you haven't seen it. Also on HBO. Shout out to HBO, guys. Way to go. Guess they know what they're doing.
I'm on a streak right now. I'm actually just sticking. I'm doing a lot of HBO bouncing around right now.
Unpregnant, which is from 2020, but it's so good. It's like a teen comedy, road trip
movie
about getting an abortion. And it's fantastic. I really liked it. I thought it was fantastic.
That's awesome. I'll watch that with Allie. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's good.
So I have been watching only 2 things lately because I'm still recovering from being sick. Like I go home, I've been, people joke about me not sleeping. I'm in full battery recharge mode. Like I've been going to bed at 8:00.
You need to hibernate. You need like 3 months in your bed.
Did all of you get pneumonia from the 40th birthday?
We got the flu.
Just me and Shy. Okay. I got almost pneumonia, but not the flu apparently because I tested negative, but Shy got the flu.
Oof.
I got the flu, and then Becky and Vlad and Allie got not the flu.
No, it could have been.
It could have been the flu, but it wasn't that bad.
We didn't.
We all had flu shots, but I'm the only one who's like.
We all had the same symptoms.
Still recovering. I mean,
I'm also the only one that hasn't stopped to rest.
I mean, that's true.
So just to be clear, I'm recovered because.
So I've only been watching 2 things lately. So that's called resting. No, 3 things. One is Reboot, which is fantastic. That's Allie and I've been watching that every night. I'm already sad that it's almost over. Another one is Elementary, which is that's like
We've already made fun of it.
I know it's my 6th show.
One, right?
Yeah. I mean, there are moments
Yeah.
where you're watching this show, which is like a modern take of Sherlock Holmes with Lucy Liu playing Joan Watson. And there are times where they like introduce them in a scene and they're straight, right? Because it's not a comedy. And they're like, this is my colleague Sherlock and my colleague Watson. And I'm like, how do you live in a world that isn't British where like you're just introducing these people? But in this, I'm in the first season, in the 22 whatever episodes, I've slept through a few. In the back half of the season, they kind of like not write the plot, but I think like they got to what the plot really is, which is this Joan Watson decides to apprentice as a detective, and that now it is really interesting.
Sorry, so how far into the series are you?
like halfway through the first season.
Okay.
So like halfway through, like clearly it's a procedural on CBS. So they did like 10 or 11 episodes of just like Sherlock solves a mystery. What's
like a monster of the week?
Yeah, monster of the week. And then at the halfway point, they're like, okay, now we're going to bring in Moriarty, and now we're going to have Watson have a bigger character arc, because at first all her job was just asking questions. Again, it's like a spot of me that loves The Mentalist. I kind of like these. I love these like super genius detectives. They make me so happy. I like Columbo too. So I like that. And then I just watched the entire Blues Brothers with my youngest child, who loves music and who's learning the trumpet. And it was such a delightful time.
Learning the trumpet.
She is
learning the
and
trumpet.
it was delightful because I kept going back to look, there's Mr. Fabulous with the trumpet.
Is she able to lift it?
She's
now?
able to lift it. She's doing great.
The trumpet is so big.
But the Blues Brothers is such a weird movie because it like it's a classic comedy. It's Chicago, another Chicago movie.
Guys, I need to visit Chicago.
Yes, you do.
It showcases.
Bring a jacket, you'll be fine.
Like,
just bring a little sweater.
I really hate
it has a lot of F-bombs and some dated humor, but it also has like scene after scene of music legends. There's James Brown, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. There's all this love of rhythm and blues music. John Lee Hooker. That was so much fun to watch with my daughter. So I don't recommend it watching it with kids, because like there's a lot of F-bombs, there's Nazis, there's like attempted murder over and over again, very bad driving.
You don't have to watch Blues Brothers to see Nazis these days.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty much everything.
Too soon. Anyways, so that was a lovely experience. All right, Leah Jones, where can people follow you and hear you on a regular basis?
You can hear me on Finding Favorites, which is back from sabbatical, and Candy Chat Chicago, which is also back from sabbatical. One was more formal than the other, but like I said, editing podcasts and recording podcasts are two different hobbies. I know which one I prefer. And you can find me online at Chicago Leah on Twitter, at Shy Leah, CHILEAH on Instagram.
Awesome. Becky?
You can technically follow me on Twitter at PaperBK Princess. That's it.
All right, Lily.
We have to do something about that, because I feel like I should create a space where people can actually follow me.
I was thinking about that.
Maybe we'll do like a combined something.
Oh, we could do something combined.
Becky, Lily, Instagram.
Yeah, that's like yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
Maybe.
You do actually use Instagram.
Yeah, but I mostly use it to watch cooking videos. But yeah.
Okay.
Lily. You can follow me on Twitter, Chichi, CHICHI Gomez on Twitter.
And you can follow me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's okay. No one's going to.
You don't want to tell people to review the show. Review the show. Rate it. Give it a 5-star rating.
Give it a 5-star hug.
Far into the episode, please at least review us.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a patient.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash the subscribe button. There you go. And so me at pancake and the number 4 table, pancake for table, Twitter and Instagram. Friday Night Movie at Friday Night Movie on Twitter and Instagram. FridayNightMoviePod.com. The theme music, which is going to kick in right now, is by What Does It Eat? And we're coming out with a new album soon, so that's going to be fun. And the other thing that's coming up, Becky, is Baltimore Comic Con, October 28th to 30th. Friday Night Movie will be there. Becky and I will be on site conducting interviews, doing lots of bits. Come join us. Come pick up stickers and shirts and hats.
And
have fun with us.
Get the flu.
No, please. No, I feel like I can't get sick at all now, because I've had
everything
this year. I had the flu. Lily had the mumps.
That was in 2020. Decided to spice up the pandemic with a little mumps.
When I had the flu at the Target mini clinic, and they were like, "Whoa, you have the flu, and you had a flu shot," and I was like, oh, "My sister got the mumps. I have credentials."
I also got flu A, having had the shot.
There you go. All right, bye.
Bye.